Hey guys, BuildZoid here, and this is going to be a quick little PSA about the EVGA VRM overheating issue. So first of all, who is affected? Anybody who owns an EVGA, this is only EVGA who are affected, and sorry for the pronunciation, it's just in the Czech Republic we call them EVGA, and I just decided to call them EVGA right now, so they're EVGA. So EVGA, EVGA, they're the only manufacturer who's affected. This is their problem. They screwed up on the design of the ACX 3.0 coolers for the 1060s, the 1070s, and the 1080s. So if you have an EVGA card with the 2-fan cooler with the white highlights, and it's an SC series or FTW series, there's a list of all the product codes or serial numbers or something like that. Product IDs. There we go. There is a list of all the product card IDs that are affected. If you have any of those cards, then this applies to you. If you have any other manufacturer, you're fine. You can stop watching this video right here and go off on your merry way, do whatever. But for those of you who do have the affected cards, the cards are affected, okay? There's lots of people, I'm reading way too many comments on Reddit, on YouTube, on Facebook, where people are saying, my card is running fine. I am not going to get the thermal pads. I am not going to take apart my card and fix the overheating issue. I'm not going to get the new BIOS update. I'm not going to basically mess with the card. I don't want to mess with it. It's running fine. There's two issues with this. One, you do not know that the card is running fine because VRMs, first of all, you do not have temperature readouts for the VRM. Your card only tells you the temperature of the GPU core. And the GPU core could be at 20 degrees and your VRM could still happily sit at 150 if you got the right cooling scenario set up. So basically core temperatures do not indicate VRM temperatures whatsoever. They're completely separate. They have no impact on each other. You can't tell what temperature your VRM is at. The VRM does not seem to have any kind of over temperature protection because I've seen two cases of textbook MOSFETs have burnt out. Okay, it's just like textbook example of this is what a burnt MOSFET looks like. You have scorch marks right behind where you have the power stages because the FTW cards, which I've seen two of those burn out. FTW cards have power stages, so basically two MOSFETs integrated, whatever. It doesn't really matter what kind of VRM design we're talking about. Basically, it's a textbook example of a VRM burning out. VRMs burn out suddenly. There is no indication that they're about to go except maybe efficiency measurements, temperature measurements, and voltage ripple measurements. Those would really be the only three things that would tell you that there might be something going wrong with the VRM. And actually efficiency would tell you right away that there is a problem, except by the time you're starting to see the decline in efficiency, it's often already too late. Unfortunately for you, as an owner of one of these cards, you cannot measure these things because they're not, I'm not sure if the voltage controller can measure them. I do believe it's capable of measuring them. I'm 100% sure there is no software currently available that will tell you what these values are at. Okay? So you basically have no way of knowing when the VRM is going to die. Okay? So you can be playing a game, it'll be running 120 FPS, no underclocking, no stuttering, no black screen issues, no artifacting, nothing. Absolutely nothing. You won't even hear any excessive fan noise. It'll be like any other gaming session, except maybe your room temperature is 5 degrees higher, or you put something in front of your case so you've restricted the amount of fresh air that goes into it, or something. And something changes. Maybe there's a little bit more dust built up in the card or something. And suddenly, out of nowhere, you're going to get smoke, possibly a spark, coming out of the GPU. That is going to be your only indication that there is a problem. There will be no warning. There will be no artifact. There will literally be nothing you can use to predict that the VRM is about to fail. There is no temperature measuring for the VRM. There is no current sensing for the VRM. There is no efficiency calculation for the VRM. And to be completely fair with you, I've never seen a GPU VRM that actually monitors its own efficiency. Okay? It's doable. And actually, it would be really cool to see a card that offers that kind of feature. But they don't exist. So you can't use that as an indicator of when the VRM is about to die. So basically, you have no idea when the VRM is going to die. No idea. Okay? And these cards are affected. The VRMs are dying. It doesn't take much to get a VRM from running happily to basically thermal runaway. And thermal runaway is a scenario where the VRM overheats, and this high temperature causes it to lose efficiency, which causes higher heat output, which causes more temperature, which causes higher heat output, which you get the idea. This escalates, and basically you go, in a very short period of time, you go from slightly too hot to on fire. And there is no warning when this is about to happen. So, if you own one of these cards, and if you think it's running fine, please, understand this video. I hope I'm not trying to speak alien here. I think it's very simple. Please go and get the thermal pads. You don't even have to buy them. They're free. EVGA will ship them to you for free. It takes 30 minutes at most. I've managed to tear down cards in 5 and put them back together in 5 minutes. So you can very, very quickly tear the graphics card down, install the thermal pads. There's very little risk when taking apart a graphics card. It's a couple screws. It's not much more difficult than putting together a full system. You install the thermal pads, and you'll have a perfectly functional card in less than 30 minutes. Okay, after that, you don't have to worry about any more cooling issues. It'll be fixed. But if you don't do this, you're going to be running the risk of the card just up and dying on you out of nowhere. And if it does die on you out of nowhere, you're going to be without a card for however long it takes EVGA to ship you a working one. Which may be a couple days, but I'd rather take 30 minutes to swap thermal pads than wait a couple days for a new card. And that's ignoring the fact that you're literally just throwing a GPU out the window because I'm too lazy to order free thermal pads and install them myself. Mind you, EVGA, I'm 99%, I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure EVGA will replace your card if you screw up the thermal pad installation. And that is actually incredibly hard, in my opinion. I've torn down GPUs over and over and over again. I've screwed up one of them, and that one is excessively fragile compared to any other GPU I've ever worked on. Okay? So these, it's seriously, just do it. Just get the freaking thermal pads, get the BIOS update. You don't even need the BIOS update, because the BIOS update is just going to change the fan curve of the card. So you can change the fan curve yourself. And in the meantime, while you're waiting to get the thermal pads, give up your overclock, give up a chunk of your power limit. I'd honestly do that too, because the few cases I've read of cards actually blowing up were still at stock clocks. So give up a bit of your overclock, or give up your entire overclock and lower the power limit a little. It really, at the very least, you're going to have the card, there's going to be less downtime between you having a card to play games with and you not having a card to play games with. There's no benefits to just letting the cards run themselves into the ground. I really don't see the logic. There's a few people who've said, basically, I'm just going to send the card to RMA when it dies. And I have to ask, why would you, seriously, just get the freaking thermal pads. It's not that difficult. It doesn't void your warranty. Sucks that you bought EVGA and that they couldn't build a card that works properly out of the box. But at least, don't waste a fully functional card just because you're also really lazy. So, yeah, that's that for this short little video. I hope I help save lots of GPUs out there. And something that's rare of me to say. I'm saving graphics cards when I usually tell you how to break them. But yeah, just do it, because you have basically nothing to lose. And yeah, just do it. Just freaking do it. I don't care. You can go into the comments and say whatever. I don't care. Do it. Do it. If you have a card that's affected, freaking do it. And yeah, so that's that for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. And for those of you who are just, avid subscribers of the YouTube channel, and who watch this video even though they don't have an EVGA card, and you're wondering, BuildZoid, why is there no content for the last few days? Because there is a bit of a content drought. I have a giant sore under my tongue on this side, and it really hurts when I talk right now, so I'm just doing this video because I felt like this is really important information. Once my tongue is fine, content will come back regularly. And with that, actually see you next time. Goodbye!